And what about this from Democrats, including Adam Schiff, saying, you know what, this deadline is just a political deadline, and if we don't have an agreement by tomorrow night, we should extend it and keep talking until June? Right.
I like the British foreign minister who said, well, we may not have a written agreement, but we'll have a unwritten narrative to work with. Yeah, that's super helpful. Try to work that out with your banker when you're getting a loan. I don't want to sign anything. I just want an unwritten narrative about when I'll pay you back. Right. Look, it's in Iran's interest to drag this out as long as possible for precisely the reason that it is gaining ground in its pursuit to be a hegemonic power in the region. And you know, one of the caves that Charles left off, which I think is a very big one, is this weapons facility at Fordo, right, where it's the idea that you have a peaceful nuclear program buried 3,000 feet inside a mountain that is only utility is that it can't be bombed out of existence, suggests the obvious thing here, which everyone seems to dance around, is Iran is determined to get a nuclear bomb, and anything it agrees to will only, at best, slow that process down.
Juan, the administration is saying that it is separate to talk about Iran's actions elsewhere. In other words, supporting the Houthi rebels in Yemen and the ongoing efforts it has with Syria and Lebanon and throughout the region. But this is a big deal. It's hard to overstate the Saudi government, the Saudis, along with other Arab nations, possibly putting ground troops into Yemen in coming days.
Correct. I mean, look, first of all, it's a chaotic situation. I think it really has degraded over the last few months. And one of the keys now is you have to understand, I think from the administration perspective, they value increased Saudi action in the region. They value the idea that the Arab states would stand up for themselves instead of using the United States as its local police force.
But it seems divorced of what they're negotiating with Iran on this nuclear deal. Meanwhile, the Saudis say they might even start nukes of their own.
Which would undermine the whole point of non-proliferation in the first place, right?
Right. Well, the Saudis can say that. I think everybody's trying to influence these negotiations because everybody has some stake here. But from the administration perspective, my perception is that they feel they're being creative, that the status quo is unacceptable. I mean, at this table today, we're hearing people say, oh, well, Iran hopes to be a power in the region. Iran is a power in the region. They're funding terrorists in the region. The United States is trying to change that dynamic in such a way as to get Iran to behave in a more responsible manner. The question is, can you trust Iran? And the idea is that if you have a deal that allows for inspections, that allows Iran to join in the community of nations, you're better off than you are today.
Although the IAEA has said that they haven't lived up to their deal already.
They have completely stymied and stonewalled the IAEA. You know, one example of the creativity that you are talking about is the Fordo facility that you have talked about, which we were assured would be shut down. This is the most secure facility probably on planet Earth. And we are told that the solution is going to be that the centrifuges will be running, but they're only going to be using zinc, xenon, and germanium to produce medical isotopes. If you believe that the multi-billion-dollar facility inside of a mountain is producing xenon isotopes, then your name is John Kerry.